Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. I have watched and went through the 41-page document that Kipchumba Murkomen have released to the media and to the public as the so secret document of the SGR deal. And I think Kipchumba Murkomen should not wink the public. Many are wondering why has that document been released today on Sunday? What is the intention of that document? And according to Kipchumba Murkomen, their greatest achievement as Kenya Kwanza was a promise they had given to the Kenyan people that they were going to release that document because they had told the public that the SGR document was one of the biggest secrets that no one will actually come to find. And because of political posturing, in the spirit of freedom is here, they released that document. But let me tell you, this is the truth. Kipchumba Murkomen released that document because he had already known that KTN had done a feature on SGR and they had a copy of that document. If you follow keenly, I've had the privilege of finding out that even today, the very, very Sunday, 6th, by midday, the KTN News were actually running a promo feature on SGR. And when I saw Waziri releasing their document as early as 7, I realized this was just catch 22. It was catch 22 because Murkomen realized that the standard team were already going to drop the bombshell. But himself, he had promised that he was going to release the document. So one thing that came out is, when was he releasing it? He was actually giving a document, and we'll try to compare what Kipchumba have released and a section of the report, because I have listened to the feature by the KTN, even though it's a developing feature. So I've listened to the 2 episodes they have released, and what so far they have spoken about, and what is also in the 41-page document that Kipchumba Murkomen have released. I need to be very clear here. Kipchumba Murkomen, I think Kenya Kwanza government should not lie to the Kenyan people. The big lie was that SGR was a big secret that even themselves they did not know. It's a lie. Both a report by KTN and what has been shared by Kipchumba Murkomen in his Twitter page indicate very well that the person who was the lender of the SGR loan was the Kenyan government under the Ministry of Treasury that was led by Henry Rotich, who was the CES. In 2014, Murkomen was Senate Majority Leader. Adan Duale was National Assembly Majority Leader. Kimani Ichung'wah was the chair of PAC. William Ruto was the sitting, active, powerful deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. And Henry Rotich was also in government by then. So, and I remember Raila is the only person that came out to ask and actually criticize that the cost of that SGR was ballooned. Now, when we were in the run-up to the 2022 general election, the same people that had kept the document secret were coming out to say that they've never seen the document, as if they came to government the other day. I think for once, we need to separate facts from fiction. A narrative that Murkomen and William Ruto and the team had never perused that SGR document because it was secret was a big lie. And it was just done politically. What I want to agree, in a meeting with an interview with the former President Uhuru Kenyatta at State House, somewhere in December 2018, the media asked for the document, they were promised, and it was not released to them. It was never released to the media. That, of course, is true. But for the political class, give us a break. This one, you knew everything. But because it was political tool that was going to release it, you had to release it. Let me tell you, if Murkomen had planned to release that document today, he would have called a press conference. That's the truth. He would have released it on Twitter. He would have called press conference and talk to journalists and talk to media about it and make it a big deal. But he rushed because the Standard team had done a feature and they saw that this feature was done some time back. It's good that I need to tell you guys, I have worked in media. For this feature to be released today, this is a project that has to take time, even 3 months. Not that walibeba cameras leo wakaenda field with the document, no. So this document, they have been having it even before the last general election. I stand to be corrected. But if you dig deep, you realize that that is the truth. This is not something, such a feature is not just an overnight feature. You need to run through a proposal that passes, and you know this is going to be workable, and run a budget and everything before you do that feature. So, what exactly is going on? I have perused Kipchumba Murkomen's document, and I've not seen the word KPA anywhere. In fact, I've only seen Kenya Railways Corporation. If you have seen what Murkomen shared and umepata somewhere it's written KPA, share with me in my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is there, 0710 62 78 89. Share with me that close in my WhatsApp. I'll share it in the channel. I have not seen. Now, according to the 21 page by what the Standard KTN team used to refer, their reference was that Kenya Ports Authority was a guarantor and their assets were the guarantor to the loan and their assets were the security. That is KRA and KPA. In fact, according to them, the KPA manager by then signed the document, the head of treasury, that is Henry Rotich, and the chairman of the China Export-Import Exim Bank also signed the document. From what Murkomen have shared, I have not seen where KPA or Kenya Revenue Corporation signed that agreement. I have not seen. There's only one for Henry Rotich and the other one. So these are two. What KTN is referring to, I think, is a different document with what Waziri have shared. Which one is which? But then, the position was a guarantor and a collateral to the loan. But this is the lie, or rather, I want us just to get something here. Murkomen spoke about the SGR loan restructure. We will look at that, but there is something. There is a clip I got that I think I want us to get about. And yes, this is a clip I think William Ruto was speaking in an interview with Mark Masai. I think he spoke something about SGR that I want us to get that there.
If indeed it is, and it is eating into the resource and the taxpayers' money, would you deny the fact that in its daily running and its costs, it mounts up to some reports, as you've seen in the papers today, that it's gone up to $1 billion a month?
That's correct.
Right.
It costs $1 billion a month to run the SGR. The SGR, my friend, is not a matatu. The SGR is a huge operation. And for the record, let me tell you the following. Today, we have 7 cargo planes every day on the SGR. By December this year, we will have 12 trains every day on the SGR carrying cargo. And the good news is that by the end of this year, the SGR will have broken even. Less than a year since we started operation.
By breaking
even. In fact, some countries around us who have SGR and started earlier than us are not where we are. They are operating one train a day. We are talking about 7 cargo planes today. By December, there will be 12 cargo planes.
Now, that is the position about the SGR. What Murkomen have shared to the Kenyan public is not the real deal. That's not it. I think we're being distracted. And there is something that there are some, of course, there are some statements and some provisions that we've ever had in the past. That the port is to ensure how the port was coming, is to ensure a set level of cargo is transported on SGR to guarantee revenue stream for loan repayment. If the agreed cargo threshold is not met, then the KPA will draw its own revenue to show up the balance. Is that what you mean by collateral? That the KPA is to facilitate the business so that the more it's collecting that money, that revenue stream will go into paying for the loan, because the loan is paying on 1st January and 21st January and 21st July every financial year. Those who have supposedly publicized it, the document are the same, they are saying different. Now, I have seen obsession with the amount. Of course, 360 billion. There are those who are saying 380 billion. There are those who are saying more than that. I may not really interrogate that because I don't know exactly, and I cannot evaluate in my capacity exactly what it's supposed to cost. However, I just want to point out some 4 fundamental issues that are emerging. We are all obsessed about the commercial value. The repayment period for the principal and the interest is 20 years. 21st day of January, as I've mentioned, and all that. So the question is this: whether it is 350 billion or not, we have a repayment period of 20 years. Are we on track? The conversation has been centered that the port is going to be auctioned to the Chinese government because of this SGR. But even if so, unless we default paying and the repayment period is 20 years, so do Kenya Kwanza government want to tell us that they want to default paying it so that after 20 years the port will go to China? And that will be a political tool to use that Uhuru auction to the port. That's the truth. And some of these things did not happen. Some of these things happened when Ruto was in government. And Ruto was the sitting deputy president. With all these people were in power. So the narrative that the port is going to be sold to China or is going to be auctioned to China because of that loan is neither here nor there. Unless someone is saying that they want to divert the revenue stream from the KPA to other things so that we don't pay the loan, and the event that we default, the collateral is going to be used. Are we not in track? That is what Waziri should come. I think that's what Murkomen should tell us. That kwa zile conditions tuliset kulipa hiyo loan, are we on track? Is there something going wrong? And there is something that is also happening. IMF came here the other day and they analyzed. And they have demanded that public contracts be made public in the eye of transparency so that they know what exactly is happening. They have even called for the audit of the COVID spendings. I can tell you, there is nothing so big in what Murkomen is doing. Murkomen is just playing one for the gallery, for the optics. No, is Fraisha, the IMF, International Monetary Fund, that they were told they have to. They were even told to restructure internally on debt ceiling and how much government is guaranteeing on behalf of the devolved units. So this could also be just a ploy by this could just be a ploy by Waziri to conform with the demand from IMF, and has nothing deal with audit. There've been this story about we are going to audit the port, we are going to audit about SGR. Dude, there's nothing you guys are going to audit. There's nothing you guys are going to audit. You are part of everything. You cannot change that now, unless we are getting into some diplomatic tiff. Now, the big question is on the threshold of the freight, the revenue stream that is getting to KPA. And we killed Naivasha and we killed Nairobi Inland Depot. So Nairobi Inland Depot and the Naivasha, I think even the Nairobi Inland Depot, it was a very big structure that it was boosting that transport. It was actually boosting the income that comes from that. The same with the Naivasha. I see a possibility that William Ruto team, because of political activism and without deep interrogation, they made decisions that interfered with the port activities, or rather that interfered with the activities of the SGR, and they're seeing that it's going to affect the revenue stream, and that is why they're pushing for the loan to be repaid in more than 20 years. But then I say this. See, if we were given 20 years, why don't we just confine ourselves to that? And the next 20 years, after Ruto atakuwa president, we shall have another dispensation if he happens to work for 10 years. So tulipe haraka so that the thing belongs to us. But taking it 50 years and we are still using the income from that place to pay, are we saying that we want to take the money there to other things? That's the question. Why are we restructuring if the agreement, or rather with the terms that are available, we can manage? Have we failed to pay? Is the question. Ruto made a blunder on this, killing Nairobi Inland Depot and the Mombasa and the Naivasha port, because through much activity, it is reducing the revenue stream. In fact, Kenya Railways Corporation is now becoming inactive because of that. Then, what exactly are we dealing with? Are we doing this for RMF? Are we doing this for optics? And to Murkomen, we need the real document. And of course, the answers of why we are restructuring. That's my bold.